With personal finance tips available at every turn, YouTube videos, social media influencers, podcasts, blogs, and even unsolicited advice from family members, it's never been easier to find information. But not all advice is created equal. In fact, some financial advice can quietly sabotage your goals and cost you thousands over time. Whether it's outdated, one-size-fits-all, or just plain wrong, bad advice can hurt more than help. In this video, we'll break down the top 10 ways to spot financial advice that's actually harmful, so you can protect your wallet, your credit score, and your future. 1. It sounds too good to be true. One of the easiest ways to spot bad financial advice? It promises something unrealistic. Double your money in 30 days, pay no taxes ever again, or retire in 5 years without saving more. Sound familiar? These kinds of bold claims are designed to grab your attention, but they rarely hold up under scrutiny. Good financial advice is honest about risk, time, and effort. If someone's selling you a shortcut that skips all three, it's likely bad advice, or worse, a scam. 2. It doesn't consider your personal situation. Cookie-cutter advice that ignores your unique financial life is a major red flag. Telling everyone to buy a home as soon as possible, or max out your 401k right away, might work for some, but not all. What if you have student debt? What if your income is unstable? Harmful advice often skips critical context like age, family obligations, health, or location. Solid advice should consider your personal goals, risks, and current stage in life, not just quote financial cliches. 3. It discourages you from asking questions. If someone shuts you down when you want to understand more, you should run, not walk, away. Bad financial advisors or influencers may say things like, "Just trust me," or "This is too complicated for you." This tactic keeps you uninformed and dependent. True financial empowerment involves education and transparency. You should never feel embarrassed to ask questions or pressured to follow advice you don't fully understand. If the source can't explain it in plain English, it's probably not sound advice. 4. It's based on emotion, not math. Emotions can cloud financial judgment, especially when fear or greed are involved. Advice that uses emotional buzzwords like, "Don't miss out," or "This is your last chance," is trying to trigger impulsive action. Similarly, advice based on fear, like, "The banks are going to collapse next month," pushes you to make decisions from a place of panic. Responsible financial guidance is rooted in data, probability, and strategy, not feelings. If it's not grounded in numbers, be cautious. 5. It ignores basic financial principles. Some harmful advice breaks the fundamentals of good money management. For example, "Don't bother with an emergency fund," or "Credit card debt is fine if you're investing." These ideas might sound appealing in the short term, but they disregard basic principles like saving for a rainy day or avoiding high-interest debt. No financial plan can succeed if it's built on unstable ground. If the advice contradicts common-sense money habits, it's time to question its legitimacy. 6. It comes from someone selling something. Not all sales-driven advice is harmful, but you should always question the motive. Is this person recommending a product because it's best for you, or because they earn a commission from it? Insurance agents pushing whole life policies to every client, gurus promoting expensive courses, and influencers endorsing investment apps all have potential conflicts of interest. If the advice ends in a sales pitch, consider the source's financial incentive and look for second opinions. 7. It tells you to avoid all debt, period. While it's true that bad debt can be a major burden, the idea that all debt is evil is overly simplistic. This kind of black and white thinking often leads people to avoid student loans that could increase their earning potential or shy away from using credit strategically to build a score. Not all debt is created equal. Good advice will differentiate between high-interest consumer debt, like credit cards, and strategic debt, like a mortgage or low-interest student loan. 8. It's driven by popular trends. Just because everyone is doing it, doesn't make it a good idea. Financial trends often go viral. Cryptocurrency, meme stocks, flipping NFTs, without enough focus on the underlying risk. When advice is based on hype or herd mentality, it can lead to poor timing, emotional investing, or losses you weren't prepared for. Harmful advice tends to ride the wave of buzz rather than careful planning. Good financial advice is usually boring, consistent, and well-researched, not trendy. 9. It overcomplicates simple concepts. Some financial influencers and advisors use complex terminology to sound more authoritative, but this can be a smokescreen. If they make a basic savings strategy sound like an advanced algorithm or add unnecessary layers to a simple investment, they might be trying to impress or confuse you. Real financial wisdom is about simplifying, not complicating. If you walk away from advice feeling dumber or more confused, that's a sign it may not be helpful or safe. 10. It dismisses professional help entirely. There's nothing wrong with managing your own finances, many people do it successfully. But advice that discourages ever consulting a CPA, financial planner, or estate attorney can be dangerous. Financial professionals exist for a reason: to help navigate tax law, investment strategy, retirement planning, and more. Telling someone to always do it yourself might work for some, but it can also lead to mistakes that cost way more in the long run. Harmful advice often isolates you from expert guidance. Financial advice can be empowering, but only when it's accurate, relevant, and responsible. Harmful advice often hides behind confidence, hype, or trendy packaging. It might sound impressive or make big promises, but in the end, it can leave you worse off than when you started. By learning to recognize these red flags, from overconfidence and emotional appeals to blanket statements and conflict of interest, you put yourself in a position of control. Smart money decisions start with smart advice. The more critical you are of what you hear, the more likely you are to protect your financial future.